All right, a little different today. This channel is going to focus a lot on eBay tips and tricks and stuff like that, and follow my eBay store and my sales and making money that way. But another way that I make money is through cryptocurrency. And one of those ways, as of last year, was mining helium or HNT. For those unfamiliar, HNT and helium is like a kind of a wireless network that runs off of what they call miners. They essentially just look like small little routers that people put in their homes with antennas, either just the small antenna that comes with them or really large antennas that they put outside. And it's for a lot of IoT kind of things. And as of late, Helium is getting into mobile cell service. Essentially, you can pay like $20 a month and get a cell phone that uses the Helium network. So a few years ago, I would say like 2021, 2020, there was this big influx of people that were getting into helium mining because it's not really mining in the traditional sense like Bitcoin or Ethereum was, where it uses a ton of energy and gives you rewards based on the blocks that you find. Helium, it's basically a router. It uses no power. Like I said, it just has an antenna and allows other devices on the Helium network to utilize your network so that they can all talk to each other and stuff like that. So it's not actually doing any complex complications like the other miners for Ethereum and Bitcoin. It's basically just providing an access point. So it doesn't use power or a lot of power, no more than like your home router. So energy costs aren't really a concern when it comes to mining helium. You're not gonna, get underwater real quick when you're have this set up in your house and you're not making any money. And let me tell you, you're not making any money if you're a miner. At the beginning of it, you were 2020, before this influx of everybody jumped into the mining of helium. Yes, there was money to be made. When I got in, so I bought my miner in August of 2021. It didn't show up until April of 2022, which is also part of the problem. There's a huge backlog on these miners. But I finally got my Bobcat 300, set it up, turned it on, and just let it do its thing. I used to make videos on here every day when I first got it to kind of update people on how much I was making from the miner, just so if people were curious and wanted to get a miner themselves, they could see how long it would take to recoup their investment, things like that. Because the miners are like, they were at the time like $300 to $400, and they have since dropped way down because the rewards are way down. HNT is a fraction of what it used to be worth, and the Helium network has made all of these changes. But it has now been 515 days since I started mining helium, so I kind of wanted to just give another update to let you know how it's going, I guess, and show you the rewards that I am currently getting with my miner that is still set up, even though it's literally pointless at this point. I'd probably make more if I tried to sell it on the secondhand market for $100, but I would say I'm pretty much profitable now. I'd have to actually go back and do the calculations, because one of my old videos from day 57, I believe, I was making about 50 cents a day, roughly around $30 a month, and that was over a year ago. So do the math, and I've probably gotten my $350 or whatever back from the miner. However, if you buy a miner now, you're not going to make your money back, and let me show you why. Give me a second, and we'll move my face out of the way, and you can see my screen here. So this is the dashboard that I set up when I first started mining helium to track my hotspot. You can see like all the witnesses and stuff that it gets, and talking to the other things on the network and things like that. And this is where you get the rewards. Like the more witnesses to beacons and things like that, the more rewards you get. This actually used to tell me more information. I think they put it behind a paywall, and I'm not about to pay for it. But anyway, you can see here, in the last 7 days, I have made 54 cents. I used to make this in a day. So not anymore. You can see in the last 30 days, I have made $3.22. Like I said, it used to be about $30. The price of Helium HNT is $1. Used to be, I think when I made the last video, it was around $10. IoT and mobile. So this is where Helium switched things up. Recently, they switched from their own blockchain over to the Solana blockchain. Instead of trying to maintain their own blockchain and this whole network, they just figured it was easier to move to Solana and utilize that blockchain while still trying to grow their network. I didn't really have a problem with this. Solana is cheap to make transactions on. I don't mind Solana. It's got its ups and downs, but overall, I don't think it was a bad idea. But then they switched to giving the miners IoT instead of HNT. And again, I'm not the foremost expert on all this crypto stuff, so I don't know exactly the reasoning behind that. I just know that I had to go in and switch all my wallets and make sure that everything was good and whatever. I could still swap my IoT to HNT if I wanted to and hold HNT, but honestly at this point I usually just swap it all to Solana, move it out to something else really cheaply, and then buy Bitcoin with it and just hold on to it. I mean, like I said, it's $3 a month. It's not going to make me rich by any means. The other thing that happened recently within the last month or so was a halvening for HNT. So it's when they cut the rewards for miners in half. So while you can see here I'm making roughly 300, probably an average about 300 IoT a day. A month ago, I was making 600. So in 7 days, I was making $1 as opposed to making 50 cents now. So I was, making double. I was making $6, maybe $7 a month from this. But like I said, it doesn't use any power, although with these prices, I might be losing money on it. But whatever, it is what it is. But I just want to kind of show you guys how the reward structure is working these days for Helium. And if you're thinking about getting into Helium, I would suggest not getting into this kind of mining. There is a way to mine Helium mobile, but I believe you need to sign up for their mobile service, and then by using it and allowing others to connect to or something, you get rewards in the mobile coin, which are more valuable. You get more of them, and I believe people are making a little bit more money on that. So if you're thinking about getting into Helium mining, I would suggest looking into the mobile aspect of it, and don't even bother with an actual, like a Bobcat 300 or a rack or whatever the other miners are out there. It's just not worth it anymore. I don't think that it's going to come up anytime soon. I mean, if the mobile network becomes super big and actually does pretty well, then maybe mobile will shoot up, maybe HNT will. I don't trust in the short term, so I'm just converting it all to Bitcoin. I'm more of a Bitcoin maximum. I like Bitcoin more. So I typically put everything, all of this kind of stuff, just into Bitcoin, and then I just let it sit, or Ethereum, and then I, liquid stake it through Lido. But just wanted to give you a quick glimpse at how Helium mining is going today, which is September 13th, 2023, and just tell you that at this point, I think it's a waste of time. So if anybody else has used Helium or is mining IoT or mobile or HNT or anything, and has any other insight on how people might be making more money on this, if mobile is actually doing well, how you actually mine mobile. I haven't looked into it personally, so I can't speak to it. But leave a comment and let me know. Obviously, I know boosting your antenna, getting a better location, having multiple miners helps, but at this point, for a single miner in a house with the stock miner, definitely does not seem worth it. So so check back every week. I'll try to drop some crypto stuff that I'm doing, a crypto video to explain kind of what I'm doing during this kind of in between bearish bull whatever time. So subscribe to the channel if you want to see that, and we'll see you next week.